to what kind of role women should play in the military. It's important for all of us to understand more about exactly what women do for our country and have done for hundreds and hundreds of years. I've always idolized the women who I've read about in my textbook who defied both the odds and their stereotypes and made a successful career in the military. I have followed this topic for years, but I was still astounded to discover some of the stories that I uncovered while researching this topic with the help from the Women in Military Service for America Memorial Foundation. Though women have only recently been allowed into the military, they have played a vital role in the past and will continue to play a crucial role in the future. I'm going to expand on the history of women in the military and the role they are going to play in the future of our country. Taking a look at the role of women throughout history, in the 1700s and 1800s, women served as laundry women and cooks during military operations, only if they had the express permission of the commanding officers. They were there to help the men who were fighting in combat, and they were not allowed anywhere near combat zones. This did not, however, stop a few brave souls from defying their orders and doing what they felt was fitting for their country. Deborah Sampson, you can see right here, served for over a year in General Washington's army, disguised as a man from 1782 to 1783. She was a competent soldier, and only after being wounded was her gender discovered. She was honorably discharged and later on received a military pension from the Continental Congress. During the American Civil War, women were allowed to serve as matrons, who were sort of administrators of hospitals. They also served as nurses and cooks in hospitals on both the Union and Confederate sides. Wealthy women helped to fund the hospitals, and some women even served as spies. Mary Walker, you can see here, was the first woman to receive the Medal of Honor in 1865. This is the nation's highest military honor. Things really began to change for women for the military in 1900s. During the last 2 years of World War I, women were officially allowed to join the military. 33,000 women served as official nurses and support staff, and more than 400 nurses died in the line of duty. During World War II, over 400,000 women served both at home and abroad. They worked as mechanics and ambulance drivers, and even pilots. Though all of these jobs were still non-combat, 88 women were captured and held as prisoners of war. In Vietnam War, over 7,000 women served as nurses in all 5 divisions of the military, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. All of these brave women were volunteers. At this time, women are still not being allowed anywhere near the combat zones. Things started to change in this aspect again in the 1990s. During the Persian Gulf War, more than 41,000 women were deployed into a combat zone. 2 of these women were taken captive. Women started being allowed to fly in combat missions and serve on combat ships. Looking at more current role of women in the military, in 2013, the Pentagon lifted the ban on women in the combat that restricted women from infantry, armor, special forces, artillery, and other combat roles. According to Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, they decided to lift the ban after recognizing that a vast number of women in the military already face combat every day on the battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan. 200,000 women had served in these 2 wars, and as of 2012, more than 800 had been wounded and more than 130 killed. The U.S. Army is continuing to recruit women for military operations. While visiting their website, I came across the words, "As women expanded into different roles of the U.S. Army, it was clear that the heart of a warrior is not limited to its gender." By looking past and how the roles of women have grown over the years, we can only expect the role of women to continue as time goes on for more and more women to exceed our expectations as they take on new and exciting roles. Women have played a crucial role in the military for years, and that is not going to change anytime in the near future. Women in the military are just as capable as men, and they have proved that again and again through the course of hundreds of years. Women have earned their place in the military through much hard work and many sacrifices. I look back at the wondrous things they have accomplished, and I can't help but look forward to what they can show us in the future. So as for the question as to what the role of women will look like in the future in the military, I don't know. All I can say is I know we can expect great things, because in the wise words of Rose the Riveter, we can do it. Thank you.